Hello everybody and happy Saturday to you. So tonight I am just going to be reading to you this Dr. Seuss book, and it's the Sleep book. And I want to give a shout out to Stanley Wong in this video. And we'll just get started reading Dr. Seuss's Sleep book. And I hope it makes you very sleepy. News just came in from the county of Keck that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck is yawning so wide you can look down his neck. This may not seem important, I know, but it is, so I'm bothering to tell you so. A yawn is quite catching, you see, like a cough. It takes just one yawn to start other yawns off. Now the news has come in that some friends of Van Vleck's are yawning so wide you can look down their necks. At this moment, right now, under 7 more noses, great yawns are in blossom. They're blooming like roses. The yawn of the little bug is still spreading. According to the latest reports, it is heading across the wide fields through the sleepy night air, across the whole country, towards every which where. And people are gradually starting to say, I feel rather drowsy. I've had quite a day. Creatures are starting to think about rest. 2 bifferbomb birds are now building their nest. They do it each night, and quite often I wonder, how do they do this big job without making a blunder? But that is their problem, not yours, and not mine. The point is, they're going to bed. And that's just fine. Sleep thoughts are spreading throughout the whole land. The time for night brushing of teeth is at hand. Up at the Herkheimer Falls, where the great river rushes and crashes down crags in great gurgling gushes. The Herkheimer sisters are using their brushes Those falls are just grand for toothbrushing beneath. If you happen to be up that way with your teeth. The news just came in from the castle of Krupp. The lights are all out and the drawbridge is up. In the old drawbridge drawer, just sat with a yawn. My drawbridge is drawn, and it's going to stay drawn till the milkman delivers the milk about dawn. I'm going to bed now, so nobody better come around with a special delivery letter. The number of sleepers is steadily growing. Bed is where more and more people are going. In Culpeper Springs, in the Stilt Walkers' Hall, the Stilt Walkers' stilts are all stacked on the wall. The Stilt Walkers have called it a day. They're all tuckered out and they're snoozing away. This is very big news. It's important to know. And that's why I'm bothering to tell you all so. Way out in the west, in the town of Merced, the Hinkle honking club just went to bed. Every horn has been quietly hung on a hook for the night in its own private Hinkle nook. All this long happy day they've been honking about, and the Hinkle honkers have honked themselves out. But they'll wake up quite fresh in the morning, and then they'll start right on Hinkle honking again. Everywhere creatures are falling asleep. The collapsible Frank just collapsed in a heap, and by adding the Frank to the others before, I'm able to give you the Who's Asleep score. Right now, 40,404 creatures are happily, deeply in slumber. I think you'll agree that's a whopping fine number. Counting up sleepers, just how do we do it? It's really quite simple. There's nothing much to it. We find out how many, we learn the amount by an audio-telio count. On a mountain halfway between Reno and Rome, we have a machine in a plexiglass dome, which listens and looks into everyone's home, and whenever it sees a new sleeper go flop, it jiggles and lets a new biggle ball drop. Our chat counts these balls as they pull up in a cup, and that's how we know who is down and who is up. Do you talk in your sleep? It's a wonderful sport, and I have some news of this sport to report. The world champion sleep talkers, Joe and Mo Redzoff, have just gone to sleep, and they're talking their heads off. For 45 years now, each chattering brother has babbled and gabbled all night to the other. They've talked about laws and they've talked about gods. They've talked about paws and they've talked about flaws. They've talked quite a lot about old Santa Claus. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you should take up this sport. It's just fine for the jaws. Do you walk in your sleep? I just had a report of some interesting news of this popular sport. Near Finnegan Fen, there's a sleepwalking group, which not only walks, but it walks a la hoop. For every night they go miles. While they walk to such length, they have to keep eating to keep up their strength. So every so often, one puts down his hoop, stops hooping and does some quick snipping for soup. That's why they are known for the Hoop Soup Snoop group. Sleepwalking too are the curious Krandalls, who sleepwalk on hills with assorted sized candles. The Krandalls walk nightly in slumbering peace, in spite of slight burns from the hot dripping grease. Krandalls wear candles because they walk far, and if they wake up, want to see where they are. Now the news has arrived from the Valley of Vale that the Chippendale mup has just bitten his tail, which he does every night before shutting his eyes. Such nipping sounds silly, but really it's wise. He has no alarm clock, so this is the way. He makes sure that he'll wake up at the right time of day. His tail is so long, he won't feel any pain till the nip makes the trip and gets up to his brain. It's exactly 8 hours, the Chippendale mup will at last feel the bite and yell ouch and wake up. Mr. and Miss J. Carmichael Crocs have just gone to bed near the town of Fort Knox, and they, by the way, have the finest of clocks. I'm not at all sure that I quite understand just how the thing works with that one extra hand, but I do know this clock does one very slick trick. It doesn't tick-tock. How it goes is tick-tock, tock-tick. So it ticks in its rocker and talks in its ticker. It saves lots of time, and the sleepers sleep quicker. What a fine night for sleeping. From all that I hear, it's the best night for sleeping in many a year. They're even asleep in the Sleepwalking Motel, and people don't usually sleep there too well. The beds are like rocks, and as everyone knows, the sheets are too short, they won't cover your toes. So if people are actually sleeping in there, it's a great night for sleeping. It must be the air. It's a great night for snores. I just had a report some boys who are tops in this musical sport. The snortiest snores in all our fair land are Snorter McPhail and his Snorter Snort Band. This band can snort Dixie in old Swanee River, so loud it would make 40 elephants shiver. The loudest of all of the boys is McPhail. He snores with his head in a 3-gallon pail. So they snore in a cave 20 miles out of town. If they snored closer in, they would snore the town down. Do you know who's asleep out in Boona Laguna? 2 very nice Boona Laguna Baboona. We've added them to our Who's Asleep count, which has grown into a really amazing amount. Exactly 8,808,000 creatures are sleeping now.